now, and soon the folks will actually see what we're doing because we're a whole 7 seconds ahead. So hi,
Oh.
Friday. Much love to you guys on Dog Hugs Here's. Robbie, how's it going today?
You know, it's going well. It is a cloudy, rainy day in New York, but it's still a day.
Yeah. Well, Spider is particularly rambunctious today. I try to take him, fortunately we have a backyard, and I try to take him out in the backyard, but I had so much going on. We had a family memorial today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was really, really lovely. My first experience doing an online memorial service.
Oh my gosh.
So just so beautiful. I think as we learn how to have these online experiences, we'll realize that we can really open our hearts to each other as much as before. So what it meant was that Spider did not get to go out in the backyard today.
Oh no.
And so especially going crazy this morning. Yeah. So the good news is we're going to do some dog tricks right now, or actually in a moment. But first, I want to give our shelter shout out to the missioncaninerescue.org. They're out in Texas, and as you're going to hear later in the show, has been a real inspiration to our special guest today, who I'm really excited about. Paula Munier, who's an amazing author and inspirer of me creatively and to many people of all things creative. So,
and a dog rescue advocate like no other I've met. So she's amazing.
Yeah, great. Well said, Robbie. All right, so we are now going to go do a dog trick and show you guys what we've been working on this week. Is first let's go around walk into the studio here, and first we showed you the dog hug. And if you miss any of this, I'm going to edit together for the weekend all of these tricks together so you can really learn them in sequence. We learned to do the dog hug. You want to demo that, little buddy? Yeah. So this fits together. This is a perching trick, getting on a perch. And then we went yesterday with, come on over here, getting on this kind of a perch. And then we went around to this kind. So today we're going to get a little bit more advanced to go from a perch to, first of all, rotating back and forth. The way you do this is you have treats in each of your hands. Go back and forth. This is called rotations, back and forth. And now I have an air cookie, no treat in this hand. And I have a treat, come around, and then I treat with the other hand. And now I go in the opposite direction and treat with the other hand, back and forth. And now I'm sending him to another platform. So this is called sending, and little by little we build up the distance, going back and forth. So now from that trick with that perching techniques, and again, you'll be able to review that this weekend. Here's an advanced perching trick. Here's Robbie. Now we're going to get onto the big ball.
Nice.
So this is an advanced perching trick. So this is a rolling perch. Get on it. Good boy. Atta boy, Spider. Yeah. So he loves this. This is truly one of his favorite tricks. So we teach it kind of like a perch, but we don't start with the ball full. We start with a ball flat. And then little by little, we're going to put more air on it. So first I'm luring. And then little by little, I'll add more air. And then I'll pretend to have a cookie in my hand. Breathe with the other hand to get it acclimated. And then now we're getting acclimated. Now eventually, we can fill up the ball all the way. But we're not ready to roll it yet. We're just using it like a perch. So I'm luring, and then little by little, I'm starting to move it again, controlling the movement. And now I can start to move a little bit, bring them toward me. And then remember those rotations that we learned on those bowls. By the way, those were rubberized dog bowls, turned upside down. And then eventually we create more distance and we can even do those rotations. So that is some pretty advanced stuff.
It's very cool.
Spider, get on it. Yeah, boy. Come all the way over here. So now we've learned all kinds of great perching tricks this week. Attaboy, Spider. Want to come over here to the platform? Give me a hug? All right, let's walk back into the laundry room. Okay, very good hug. Again.
So Larry, what's the piece of tape on the ball all about? It looks like a white line.
Yeah, it's just to mask the brand.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, pretty simple.
I didn't know if it was a training thing or the target somehow.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah.
Very cool.
We got our dog trick of the week. Let's see. Let's start talking with some of our folks. You guys have been really getting very active here on the chat. We've got hi Audrey from Liverpool in the UK. Yes, Spider's barking.
Very cool.
Back to you. And hi Doggy. Yes. Rihanna, I think I remember you chimed in yesterday that you're a dog trainer and you were actually in process, Brianna, getting your hours to sit for your certified dog training exam. I think that's really terrific, Brianna. And any way in which this show can help you become a certified dog trainer, that would be great. And yeah, we like that too. Yeah, you miss working with your doggy clients. Yeah, I can relate. Me too. Yeah. So thanks so much, you guys, and we love your comments. What do we got next, Robbie?
I think we're bringing Paula on, aren't we?
Okay, let's do that. I want to introduce Paula in a big way, you guys, and words aren't gonna do enough more of Spider's words. But we've been friends and colleagues and collaborators for more than 25 years since we were both in high school. That's right. And anyhow, without further ado, let me bring on to you, Robbie. Actually, what do you want to say about Paula before I bring her on?
Well, I met Paula through you when she had her very first book coming out, and I was privileged and honored to work with her on part of her book launch. I got to meet her up in New England at the New England Crime Bake and talk to her in person there. Then I read her second book. She had a romance novel that she had written that she gave away on Amazon for Valentine's Day, which I loved. And what I really like is every one of her books has rescue dogs.
Amen.
And Paula herself has rescue dogs. In her books, there's a rescue Newfie, and Paula has a rescue Newfie.
Well, let's bring on Paula and the rescue Newfie. Well, anyhow, let's bring on Paula Munier right now.
Hi.
Hi, Paula. Great to see you. And who's this right here?
This is Bliss. She's a Great Pyrenees Australian cattle dog mix. Very smart and very, very treat motivated.
Hi, Bliss.
Weird now. Come here, Bear.
And Paula, you had run a contest to help name Bliss when you had first rescued her. I remember that.
That's right. And this is Bear.
Hi, Bear.
Our Newfie. He's a Newfie retriever mix. A real sweetheart of a dog. He's from a rescue from Alabama, and Bliss is from Texas. And we have a rescue cat from West Virginia who never appears on television. Never appears live. She's not interested. Even treats won't convince her, but she's just napping because it's.
And that's Ursula, correct?
That's Ursula the cat. Yeah. She only weighs 8 pounds, but she basically rules the 85-pound dog.
Oh my gosh.
I think cats do that all the time, don't they?
Absolutely. She's the queen.
So, Paula, I wanted to ask you, because I don't see Larry on screen right now, but
We're all.
I mean, I know that you've been.
Figure out how to bring us all on screen, but you had the right.
Okay.
Go for it, Robbie.
So, Paula, I know you'd written a lot of nonfiction books, which I had purchased before I even knew you. The plotting book, the other book, which name I completely forgot, Plot Perfect.
Yeah.
So I knew of you, and then when you started writing fiction, naturally I followed along, and I love mysteries. But tell me how or why did you go from nonfiction to fiction with rescue dogs?
Well, it's kind of funny because I was writing a book called The Writer's Guide to
Oh shoot!
How to Make Their Opening Pages Really Compelling.
Yeah.
And I needed a first chapter that I could take.
Hey, Paula, could you roll back about 15 seconds? We lost you from the transmission for a second.
Okay, so what am I doing exactly?
You just started. Robbie, guide us again.
So, Paula, just tell us that you were talking about Plot Perfect, I believe, when we got kind of cut off. So
Yes.
let everybody know what that is and how you transition from nonfiction to fiction.
Right. Well, I was writing nonfiction. I was writing books to help writers get published because by day I'm an agent. That's my day job. And I help writers get published, having been an acquisitions editor for many years and then transitioned into being an agent. And so I was writing a new book called The Writer's Guide to Beginnings, because a lot of writers, the opening doesn't grab you. And I was trying to show how to get that opening to grab you so that you can the attention of readers and agents and editors. And I needed a first chapter that I could just take through its paces during the course of the book. And so I couldn't use anyone else's. So I just wrote one and I threw in everything I loved. And I wrote a mystery because it's fun. And I put it in New England because I love New England and live in New England. And I had just done this fabulous fundraiser for Mission Canine Rescue, which is this organization that saves military working dogs. So military working dogs, after they serve our country, if they're Army dogs, they are usually taken care of, right? They're found a forever home. But sometimes they're not Army dogs, they're defense contractor dogs, and they end up in kill shelters and they need rescuing. So I helped do this rescue fundraiser for this fabulous organization. And I met all these fabulous working dogs and I met all their handlers. So I met soldiers and their bomb sniffing dogs. And I met cops and their drug sniffing dogs. And I met game wardens and their illegally procured fish sniffing dogs. Yeah, and they were so lovely. So I put them in. I thought, I'll put them in the book. So I had a military policewoman, former military policewoman, who comes back from Afghanistan. She's home in Vermont. She's marching off her grief, and she's inherited this bomb sniffing dog because her fiance was a handler. He was killed in action, and he says, take care of my dog, because he's worried that as a defense contractor dog, he could end up in another situation. So she rescues him, and they help solve crimes in the Vermont wilderness with the game warden, Vermont game warden, Troy Warner, and his search and rescue dog, who's inspired by our own Bear, who's a Newfoundland Retriever rescue dog. So I just threw in all these lovely things that I love: Vermont, dogs, nature.
Handsome game wardens.
Yeah, handsome game wardens. And I wrote this first chapter, and my agent said to me, "Oh, I like this. You should finish this." So I did, and she sold it. So then all of a sudden, I was writing fiction too. So it's lovely. It's been so much fun because it's all inspired by the dogs, and I love the dogs.
I think what I really liked, I liked a lot about the book, but what I loved the best was seeing Mercy and Elvis just, get to know one another, because Elvis with his PTSD, and how they just kind of tiptoed around each other until the morning on the yoga mats. And it was like, that was kind of what brought them together. And it's like, oh my God, they're going to be so good together. And it's like, I just loved the relationship you had between the two of them. And that just, that's one of those things. It's like only a pet parent and a dog lover could know how to navigate those waters and really make it come through. I just love seeing that relationship.
Well, I'm say that about dogs. They're a comfort to us, right? And they're to us. And they were both grieving. Both Murphy and Elvis were grieving the loss of Martinez, right? They'd lost their mission, they'd lost their man,
yep.
and they helped each other through that grieving process, right? And helped each other through that transition from the military world to the civilian world. And I think a lot of us are finding, particularly now, that nothing is more comforting.
All right.
Cat in your lap or a dog at your feet.
That is true. Oh.
Paula,
there's Larry.
I got to give you congratulations, Paula, for the awards that you won.
Oh, yeah.
Really a treat being at the Dog Writers Award and hearing your name read out. As I recall, you won 2 awards, Best Fiction and Book of the Year out of all the dog writing books, including my own, the Big Book.
I know. I was so excited.
That won a big award there. To hear you winning the grand prize, that was really a treat. And I also got to give you a shout out, Paula, for having been so many things in my life, including been a book agent for my book, Life's a Bark. And you even helped give it that title. What?
Well, it's a great book. I love that book, and I love your writing. And I think you really have you have an interesting and moving and rewarding way of working with dogs. And I think that people who love dogs can appreciate that and benefit from getting to know you better and getting to know your philosophy about dogs and dog training better. And I think Life's a Bark helps do that.
Thank you so much, Paula. Hey, one last question before we go. Is there somebody in your life or in your world who you give gratitude or a blessing to today?
Well, I would have to say my dad, the Colonel, as we call him, the Colonel. He's in a rehab center right now, and we can't visit him, which is the case for many, right? And he got me my first dog. This miniature poodle named
my gosh.
And he got I was raised with dogs. He's the reason I love dogs. He's the reason I have dogs, and I just hope he gets to come home soon.
Amen. Thank you so much, Paula Munier. And let's see, we'll put you back in the green room and the show, Paula. Robbie, that was a great interview. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you. Paula is amazing.
He really is. Yes. Who in your life today, Robbie, are you sending gratitude or blessing to?
Right before we got on live, as you know, my dog started going crazy. So our son's girlfriend came over, even though we all have to be social distancing. She came over and brought us dinner for tonight.
Oh, what?
So it's like I went running outside to get the dinner from her that she left on the porch, was able to talk to her for a couple seconds, but I'm grateful to Sarah for that because I really needed that pick-me-up today, and that really put a smile on my face.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I am, come on, puppy. I'm sending a special blessing out to my girlfriend, Jen. Tonight, we're having a double date with my parents. My parents are going to teach us how to play the card game Bridge. And we're going to do this via Zoom or an app. We don't exactly know yet, but we're going to figure that out and have our sheltering in place date night. Right, Spider? Yeah. And
I've heard of a lot of people doing that, like cooking their meals in their own homes and sitting down via Zoom to have a dinner together. We're finding a lot of creative ways to stay connected.
Amen. And also I want to give a special blessing to all y'all who are tuning in. Really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we do.
So much. It really means so so much to me. It gives me a mission and purpose to each day. So really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for your contributions and just being involved with the show. And remember to post those photos.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we didn't talk about the supermodel of the day. So post photos of your dog for the supermodel of the day.
We'll announce
and then could be supermodel of the week.
Yes. All right, you guys have a safe and beautiful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you guys on.
Who's going to be here? Who's our guest on Monday?
Oh, I'm so glad that you pointed that out. We are really excited. On Monday, our guest is going to be, I've got their up here somewhere.
Spider thinks he knows.
Yeah, I know it's there. We go. It's going to be Chris and Ferrandi. They're going to be with us once every week.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be Monday. We're going to see some great dog trick from America's favorite stunt dog trainers, Chris and Sue. Yeah.
That is going to be exciting. I love watching their dogs.
Yeah. Instead of listening to this knucklehead.
He needs that run around the backyard, apparently.
That's what I can exercise. All right. Much love to you guys.
Have a great weekend, everybody. See you Monday.
Bye.
Bye.